Hey YouTube, this is Brandon at The Edge Pro. I oversee the clipper repair here as well as customer care, helping with orders, diagnosing clippers, finding out what parts you need. And today we're finishing up our Master series and wanted to just talk to you about, we saved the best for last. We're going to talk about the adjustment screw on the side and how that can really fine tune all of the things that we've been doing with our clipper into the tool that you need for your everyday work and haircut. So let's head on over to the repair desk and figure out what we need to do with that. Hey guys, we're over at the repair station now, and we are on the last episode of this series, and we saved kind of the best for last. This is going to be one of the more complex adjustments that we have, but it's something that'll make a difference in your daily cutting. So we're going to talk about it, and we're going to take the time to walk through it, and hopefully you find this helpful. What we're going to be working on today is going to be this adjustment screw right here. This is an end user adjustment. They used to have in the instructions, and they still do have in the instructions from time to time, on how you can adjust that, and we're going to expound on that just a little bit, see if we can help you out. So what happens when we tighten and loosen this adjustment screw is, what we're going to do is, if you watch this area right here, what this does is separates that gap as well as closes that gap, and that makes a difference on how that blade runs. So if I turn this clipper on, sounds pretty good. We close that gap. Notice how that was very loud. If we open the gap too far, we get loud, and then the blade just stops moving altogether. And what we need to know is, where do we need to set this blade? Well, that's not an easy answer to that question. There are a lot of different variables that can happen in this clipper. Things that can lead to variables are a clean blade versus a dirty blade, a freshly sharpened blade versus an older blade, if there's a bunch of hair in the clipper or if there's nothing in the clipper, if you have strong voltage coming out of your back bar, or if you're way down the line and you have weak voltage. All of these things can make a difference as to how much stroke you have with your tool. And so, as a repairman, we're limited to how much voltage is coming out of our wall, and usually we can go ahead and sharpen the blade or have a new blade on it, so that we have some, eliminate some variables to make sure we set this tool up right for you. But at the end of the day, you need to plug it in, and you need to know how to set it up for your station. And so what we do is, you want to find where that spot is where the clipper runs loud and quiet. Notice how little I'm moving my screwdriver to find that spot. A very little bit. So I'm right on the edge, but if you were to go into someone's hair, it's going to sound like that every pass you make. So what we're going to do is find that spot and then advance it about 1/8 of a turn. So that's about what our gap is going to be right there. That is going to be assuming a lot of things. We're assuming that our blade is oiled, that our blade is cleaned. We're assuming that it's not completely full of hair. All of those things are going to affect that. When those things are all checked off the list, you're going to have the greatest stroke possible. Now what happens is, because we're moving this arm, we're also moving the blade. And so what we need to do, once you get done making that adjustment and making it work the best for your workstation and all the other variables that are going on, we need to make sure that our blade is still set correctly. If you are having questions on how to set your blade correctly, go back and check out our video. I believe it was week 3 that we did, talking about how to set the blade correctly on this. This is not an adjustment to set your blade. This is an adjustment to tune in your clipper to your workstation and your environment, not an adjustment to set your blade properly. All you're going to do is potentially lose stroke by using it in that technique. So I hope that's helpful. There are definitely room for questions there, so please leave those in the comments. We'd love to help with that. If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe, because we'll be on to another clipper soon. Thank you.